Hello everyone, please subscribe my channel and press the bell icon for latest update. Today I am going to explain Type 4 driver in JDBC, and in the previous section I explained what is JDBC driver and types of drivers. Now I am going to explain type 4 drivers. Before going to explain type 4 driver, so first of all we have to know that what is JDBC driver. So JDBC driver is nothing but a software component. It contains a lot of predefined classes and interface to interact with the database. So eh, now I am going to explain the architecture of the type 4 driver. So this type 4 driver is nothing but a database protocol driver or thin driver or pure Java driver. Why we can say it is a database protocol driver means it does not, it's like it directly interact with the database. It's a thin driver. Thin driver means it's a lightweight driver, and pure Java driver means it is completely developed in the Java language. So actually Java application or JDBC application does not directly interact with the database. That's what we required, a one mediator between the JDBC application and database. So here the driver is nothing but a mediator between the JDBC application and database. So here we are using the type 4 driver to interact with the database. So generally when we are sending the JDBC method calls, the type 4 driver will convert the JDBC method call into the database specific calls, and it will perform all our card operation, and it will return the result back to the type 4 driver. The type 4 driver will return the result back to the JDBC application. So JDBC type 4 driver is also known as pure Java driver. So it is developed on Java language. That's why we can say it's a pure Java driver. It is a database driver implementation. This type 4 driver is the database driver implementation that converts JDBC calls directly into the vendor specific database protocol. The type 4 driver, it will convert to JDBC calls into the database specific calls protocols. The type 4 driver completely written in Java. So the type 4 driver is the platform independent. This type 4 driver is the platform independent, means it can work on any operating system. It work on Windows operating system, or it work on the Linux operating system, or it can be work on Mac operating system. Whatever operating system it can be work. That's why we can say type 4 driver is the platform independent. So it's a most important driver, type 4 driver. This type 4 driver, like we can in current project, whatever language we are using the type 4 driver. So the type 4 driver installs inside the Java virtual machine of the client. No need to install separately. So this type 4 driver, whenever we are installing the JVM, so by default this type 4 driver is installed in our system. That means no need to install separately. This provides better performance than the type 1, type 2 and type 3 drivers. It does not have the any overhead to conversion of the calls into the ODBC or database FA calls. So it provides a better performance when compared to type 1, type 2, type 3, because if you see the type 1, type 2, type 3 driver, there are like some other mediators are required to communicate with the database. But in case of type 3 driver, we does not have any mediator to interact with the database. The type 4 driver directly interact with the database. That's why it will improve the performance of the application. So unlike the type 3 driver, it does not need to associate with the software to work. Actually, the type 3 driver use the middleware server to interact with the database, but type 3 driver, it does not require any middleware software to interact with the database. So what are the advantages of type 4 driver? It is completely implemented in Java to achieve the platform independence. So because it is developed based on the Java language, that's why it is a platform independent language. This driver don't translate the request into the any intermediate format such as ODBC. So if you see the type 1 driver, we are using the ODBC driver to communicate with the database. That means the type 1 driver does not directly interact with the type database. That's what we are using the ODBC driver. Type 2 driver also using the some mediator between the type 2 and database. So but in case of type 4 driver, it does not have any mediators. That means no need to convert the intermediate format. So the client application connect directly with the database server. No translation or middleware layer are used to improve the performance. The client application, it directly connect with the database server. So that's what, no translators or middleware layers are used. Because of that, it will improve the performance. The JVM can manage all aspects of the application to database connection. It can facilitate the debugging. So the JVM will take care of the manage all the aspects of the application to interact with the database, like it providing the debugging also. So the only the disadvantage is the type 4 driver is the database dependent driver. Database dependent driver means so if you want to use the Oracle database, so we require the Oracle related driver. If you want to communicate with the MySQL database, we require the MySQL related driver. That's why we can say type 4 driver is the database dependent driver. So friends, don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thanks.